Welcome to Athar's Garage. In this video, I'll be working on the Team Associated RC28, Bag 1, Steps 1 through 6, so let's get started. We're going to need a servo for this step, so I'm going to go ahead and grab mine. Before you do this step, I would center the servo on with your electronics, or don't install the servo horn just yet. I would do that after you get everything bound and centered. All right, now that we have all of our parts, we can go ahead and start assembling. So we're going to need the chassis, as well as the servo mount standoff, these two pieces here, along with two M2x4 flathead screws. There is a note that says some of the hardware might be 0.05 inch hex or a 1.3 millimeter hex. It just depends on the batch that they were from. All right, so my MIP 1.3 seems to fit, so we're going to go ahead and just use that. So we're going to install the screws through these holes here, and then tighten into the servo mount standoff. Okay, now I can move on to step 2, which is preparing the servo horn, which is this piece here. So the reflex horn, I believe, is machined Delrin. This is an injection molded plastic, and it seems to be pretty nice quality. So we're going to install two M3x6 set screws from this side here, and then install the 3.5 pivot balls from the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. And you're going to need a 0.9 millimeter for the set screws. So I'm going to just make the set screw flush with the surface of the servo horn, and then I'll go ahead and install the pivot balls. And the pivot balls don't have a hex. There are two flats, so probably just use some pliers to get those on. Go ahead and put on the pivot balls. Okay, so those are tight. I just used some flat needle nose pliers so they don't mar anything. So that's ready. So now we can install our servo onto the servo mounts, which are these right here. We're going to need two M2x4 button head screws. So just install the screw through the hole, and then we're going to install the servo mount with that thread facing up, just like so. And we're going to not tighten it down all the way. We're going to leave it slightly loose. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. So at this point, we're going to look like this. We have the servo mounts on the servo, and the holes are facing up. So now we can grab our servo mount plate, which is this piece here, And we're gonna install two M2x4 button head screws through this hole here and this hole here, and it allows side-to-side adjustment of the servo. And we're gonna align the spline with this little notch right here. Leaving it a little loose so that way I can line up that spline to the center notch. That's lined up. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten down these top screws as well as the screws holding on the servo to the servo mounts. If you're using an MIP tool, be careful not to over torque stuff. The handle is quite large, so you might break something. I'm used to working with these Houston RC tools, but the tolerance on the tips are really tight, so they're not going in to the screws. But since it has a smaller handle, it's hard to over torque something. So just take note of that. If you're using a different tool, it is a larger handle, the MIPs are, so just be careful. Next, we can go ahead and install the servo horn. Make sure your servo is centered. I'm actually not gonna run this car, I'm just building it for the video series, but just for YouTube purposes, I will install the servo horn with an M2x4 button head screw. Just like so. Now we can move on to step 4, which is installing the servo onto the chassis. We're going to need two M2x4 button head screws. And we're going to install these screws through this hole here and this hole here, and they'll go into these posts. And these holes are oval, so you can adjust the Ackerman. And so the kit setup is the servo pushed all the way forward. There we go. And if you centered your spline with that notch, it should be centered onto the chassis. Now we can move on to step 5, which is the torsion links. So we're going to use the medium link. So if you look at these cutouts, this is the soft link here. It has the largest cutout. This is the medium link, and this is the stiffest link. There's no cutout. So we're going to take this, which is a number 5, off the parts tree. So let's get both of these off, trimmed, and then we can get them installed. We can set these aside for tuning aids later. We can install the 1x3mm Phillips head screw. They're very, very tiny. I'm just going to get them started. They're going to install in the torsion link right here in this hole. And I'm going to make sure that I assemble one for the right side and one for the left side with the screws facing outward. So I'm leaving it loose. Go ahead and do the other side. And on this side, I'm going to make sure it comes in from over here, so that way it can be adjusted once it's on the car. Now we can install the torsion links onto the chassis. They're going to install in these two holes here and these two holes here. There's a pin that's going to go in the smaller center hole. So I'm going to make sure that the link that I'm installing has that screw head facing outward. And then we're going to take two M2x5 flathead screws and install them from the bottom. And make sure that the links are parallel with the center line of the chassis. So before I tighten everything down, I'm going to make sure that it's parallel to the center of the chassis. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side. Again, I'm making sure that screw head is facing outside so we can tighten it once we have it installed on the ball stud. Making sure it's parallel. All right, there we go. Now we can move on to step 6 of bag 1, which is going to install the center bulkhead. So we're going to need the 3.5 millimeter ball stud, which is a 1.5, and then we're going to need 2 of the 1 millimeter ball stud washers. They're blue. If you plan to use the PN Racing 360 milliamp hour hard pack, I'd put a 0.5 millimeter shim as well, to get enough spacing so the shock doesn't rest on the battery. If you use a PN soft pack, you'll probably be fine. So now this is ready to install onto the chassis with 2 M2x4 millimeter flathead screws, and we're going to face the ball stud towards the front of the vehicle. And the screws are going to install in these 2 holes here and here. So by now you've probably noticed that I'm not putting Loctite on anything. In this scale, we generally don't like to use Loctite. It's easy to use too much Loctite, and that Loctite gets on the ball studs, creates a small film, and then the ball cups get really tight, and then the car starts acting funny just because things aren't working as smoothly as they should be. Now we can go ahead and install the battery holder plates. So first we're going to install the screws in here, in this hole here, and a mirror opposite over here, and that's for the O-ring that holds the battery down. So we'll put that in first, and then we'll install these onto the center bulkhead. And I'm just gonna install it until I see the threads are flush at the bottom and call that good. All right, now we can go ahead and install the battery holder plates onto the center bulkhead. So it's notched, so it kind of nicely and neatly goes in. And we can go ahead and tighten that down. And there we go. That's it for bag 1. That's what the chassis looks like now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Let me know down in the comments if you have any tips or tricks that'll be helpful for the community. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.